Hello everyone. How are you? Hope all is well. Well, some added good news. Remember, we had said that there were many more people on run for the takeout of Sarayah Paulwell and her mother Tashayna Patterson. Remember, I know that people don't listen to the details. They only listen blah 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 to what is said up front. However, there were many other people that were on the run because when the whole thing went down, there were a lot more people involved because when she took the mother and the baby to Stone Hill, she were given to some men, and the two that are sentenced plus her cousin and her were not the only set of men that were there. Some were still on the run, as I told you. Well, here we go now. One more arrest in the murder of Paulwell infant daughter and her mother. Another person who is believed to have played a role in the murder and abduction of opposition lawmaker Philip Paulwell's infant daughter, 10-month-old Sarayah Paulwell, and her mother, Tashayna Patterson, was on Wednesday taken into custody. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzwiley, who is in charge of the crime portfolio, made the disclosure on Thursday afternoon during a press conference. Bailey said the suspect, who is a male, remains in custody and is to go through an administrative process. The senior officer, although pressed for information, said further details will be shared at a later date. However, he pledged that all the perpetrators will be found and brought for justice. We are going to ensure that every person who participated in that crime faces justice. We are committed to that as an organization. It is one of the most gruesome crimes that we have ever seen, and we are going to ensure whoever is responsible, it doesn't matter where they hide. The Bible talks about even if you spread your bed in hell or in the utmost part of the sea, we are going to find you all and bring them to justice, he warned. 10-month-old Sarayah Paulwell and her mother, 27-year-old Tashayna Patterson, were abducted from their home in Gilmore Drive in September the 9th. They were allegedly taken to East Kingston, shot and killed, and their bodies burned. We know all the other ins and outs of the story, and of course you know that it's alleged that the mastermind is Leota Bradshaw. Now, Fitzbailey would not give any more information on who it is or what part they played in the whole thing. Well, you know what the funny thing, it doesn't matter what part they played. From they were there, they are all equally guilty. But this case is a tangled web. And somehow, I doubt is who you guys may be thinking. Because we don't know this is Jamaica, that is not possible. But as you know, we will be waiting and disturbing and upsetting case than the one involving baby Sarayah Paulwell and her mother, Tashayna Patterson. 4 people were arrested and charged in connection with the brutal murder already. Further on in the police investigation, following a 9-month-long investigation, the police have linked the Klansman gang to at least 800 murders since 2014 and have arrested 31 suspected members of the St. Catherine-based criminal outfit. Head of the Crime and Security Portfolio, Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey, he disclosed the number at a press conference on Thursday while detailing that investigators have been able to unearth in the probe. Speaking specifically to an operation carried out on Thursday morning in sections of St. Catherine, which the senior lawman described as the culmination of the months-long probe that focused on the section of the gang under direction of the incarcerated Tashayna. Bailey said one man who challenged the police was fatally shot. He is Suman McFarlane, 29, a laborer of Ellerslie Pen in the parish. The police said too that they seized 3 firearms and a quantity of ammunition. Bailey also shared that a motor car, cash, luxury item, and name brand clothing valued at about $3 million were seized at a location in Old Harbor. Over in central Kingston, owners and occupiers of several parcels of land in central Kingston which have been pegged for development by the Andrew Holness administration have described the move as ludicrous. Even as fear of eviction from the homes loom they are occupied for years and in cases decades mount, the residents say the proposed acquisition, which they were unaware of until alerted by the report, is tantamount to betrayal as they had received no assistance from the government to rebuild when all but 2 of their homes were devastated by a fire that swept the area during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, in an urgent notice published on Sunday in the edition of the Jamaica Observer, the Ministry of Housing is interested in acquiring the properties. It said, anyone knowing the whereabouts of the owners or agents kindly contact the Land Administration section with the Ministry on or before January 19, 2024. 2 of the 3 properties at James Street, which had been completely burned, were unoccupied for debris from the fire. However, the affected homes on Smith Lane were in different stages of reconstruction. One resident said, all block me by and say me I go lick out deso expansion. The amount of block we in a me yard, them suck me a sin. You know, brother, people can't work their money and see me buy me block and me cement them already. One female resident complained. Me and my family live here for years and we have paid everything for it. My family is going to buy the property, so when they do that, what them leave with to do? I sin them something here. You know a sin, she said passionately. An elderly man and woman of another of the Smith Lane addresses, which had been reduced from 8 bedrooms to 1 because of the fire, said they have occupied the premises for 24 years. The owner for the place died years ago and leave it to her daughter. The daughter died and leave it to him. The woman said, pointing to the man, so we are the owners now, but our name didn't sign up on the property. It did burn down year before last 2021 and all the papers burned up, title and everything. The woman who gave her name as Catherine said. The elderly woman argued that they have received no assistance to rebuild and the now dilapidated 1-bedroom structure. Till me a man, me a 50 come next year, he said. I was going to rebuild it. Them house here have to lick down and start fresh. It was owned by an old man who used to live around here, but that man died. He never did get the title, he said. Meanwhile, senior land officer with responsibility for acquisitions in the ministry, Nicholas Pennant, responded to the Observer's queries ahead of its interview with the residents. Said the acquisitions were for development purposes. These sections were directed to us by the Prime Minister. These places were burnt down years ago. What is there now is derelict remnants. The ministry called it a project area. The addresses are all closed, so they form a boundary which we call a project area, which we'll be working in. After acquiring, we would go forward based on whatever directive the Prime Minister gave after we own them, he told the Observer. Pennant said, if there is no word from the individuals who own the property, the government will move ahead with the plans to acquire nonetheless. What we want to do is purchase via private treaty. If we don't hear from them by a certain time, we can proceed to compulsory acquisition, where the Commissioner of Lands does this on the behalf of the Ministry of Housing. They have the power to do so, he said. We have done some background work, we have titles and so forth. Some of them are deceased, some of them might have migrated. Hopefully some of them can reach out to us by that time. Whether the owners, the agents, or anybody representing an estate Pennant added, the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation was established in February 2016. It has responsibility for the formulation and implementations of policies relating to its portfolio areas, which include water and wastewater, land environment, climate change, housing, urban renewal, economic policy and investment and works. So these people just will have to wait and see what the government plan is for them and what will happen next. Because as Pennant said, they will acquire these properties with or without anyone related to these properties. Anyway guys, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to my platform please. Love you all. Bye for now.